welcome back. I hope this stays this time. It wouldn't let me reconnect. I was like, oh my goodness, what's gonna go down this time? Okay. So while I was talking to myself, I started to layer in the second bit, but it doesn't matter. It's hopefully gonna stay this time. So what I've started to do is grabbed my pigment from the bottom part, because we'll leave the wash to come up here and over and you know, all of that. So I'm grabbing some pigment on this section here with a very, very slight damp brush. I know, hopefully it works. Hello, my loves. I'm sorry about that. You know, you can never know what's going to happen on YouTube. Okay, so what I've started to do is bring some pigment in. We'll do all the details with some pencils, but we're going to get the majority sort of down. Now, this is very washy. If I show you the original, you'll see what I mean. So they come in with even more colour, which I'll do, but for the minute we're just going to try and see if we can sort of replicate some of it. I know! Hi again, everyone! You gotta love some gremlins, gotta love them. They're just like, who are you? Get off, get off. It's like, yeah, thanks. Oh, anyway, let's try this again. Okay, so what I'm trying to try and do is just bring in some pigment as I work my way down, but I'm going to do it a bit more lighter at the tops, a bit more darker at the bottoms. Hello lovelies, hi everyone coming back in. Hi to those of you that are joining this second time round. I am back. Even my mum's just messaged, where are you? What happened? I'm here. I'm trying. I said to Andrew, I was like, oh, for Christ's sake, what's going on? But anyway, we work with what we've got. You know, it's a free platform. We can't complain. I say that all the time. It's annoying, but it's the best thing we've got right now, and it connects us around the world. So I'll take the few issues. I don't know about you guys, but when you watch interviews that people are doing on Zooms and have them on their guest appearance on their shows, and then all of a sudden the screen goes blank and they're like, we're very sorry for the technical issues. I'm like, oh, welcome to our world. Hi everyone coming on in. Hi Emma. So I'm just like, yeah, okay. We'll deal with it. We'll roll with it. We'll see what happens. But what are you all been up to? Oh gosh, I'm feeling so inspired all of a sudden. You know those days where you're just like full of ideas? That was me last night. I was having those moments. I'm just using, if you're wondering what I'm using, do you want me to show you the front colour? Hello Eskies. So the front cover of these paints, I have put them in the description. These are the colours that you get. They're 36. You can actually get a bigger one now. Yes, I'm using the same colour, just a lot more concentrated. And this is the front. So if you ever look and you type in Gansai Tambi paints, I've put the UK link in the description, but the US links, if wherever you are, you do have them in your country, and they are absolutely incredible for the money. It's like £36 or 20 odd, depending on the size of the set, and you get the most concentrated paint you can imagine. Yeah, look, you can see I've barely got anything on there, and I'm just touching the tip of my brush on there, and I'm just doing a concentrated look coming down. So I can't wait to do the girl. She's saying I'm going to put pencil in this, and I'm going to put some gold. And I've pulled out for my gold my Coliro paints, so Finetec, and I've also put some in the description for anyone in the UK that was wondering which ones I would recommend. I'd recommend the Earth set, and I'd recommend the Pharaoh set for the tones that's in there. But it's the possibilities are endless. It depends what type of colours that you like. So I'm just bringing in some pigment as we're going down, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Hello, our Crackerbox Cottage. I love your name. Oh, I missed what you said above. Hold on. Colouring a Momo girl with Nanimo. Ah, I love Nanimo. Hold on. Aren't they amazing, Helen? And happy birthday, Helen. I know it was yesterday, but everyone wish Helen a happy birthday, even if we're one day late. I couldn't say it yesterday like on stream because I wasn't here, so I hope you had a fantastic day, whatever you did, even if you didn't celebrate this time round. Feeling loved is the main thing. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. So I'm picking up some more pigment and I'm literally dotting it in. And I want to do it like darker towards the end, lighter towards the tops. That's the plan. So we'll do it more washy and I'll add a bit more of a red wash because it's slightly pinky. Some of these colours are more of a pink than a red. I'm trying to get the reds and the pinks. I think they work really well together. And you know what we can try, and I'm going to do that very soon. When this bit's dry, I'm going to try some Distress ink on top. So I'm just picking up some of the pigment of this red first, and I'm just literally dotting in some, and then you can just grab a little bit of water on there, and you literally can water it down as little or as much as you want, and you can still get such a high payoff of colour. Oh, it's Friday. Okay, that's fine. Well, happy birthday for the Friday. I didn't get to say it, I don't think, so I can say it now. I saw your pictures and I thought it was yesterday, but there we go. You get it again. Because I don't really go on Facebook a lot. I very rarely, I just pop on there and I only get to see things. So if I see things a bit too late, it's just because that's prioritised it in my news feed because I hadn't seen it. But we get to do it all over again. Why not? I've been told you can use the gold satin glaze and liquid primer for colouring pages to do wet media. Yeah, honestly, I'm not too fussed. I would only do that. This paper is so thick that I wouldn't worry about this one too much. It's not even buckled. But for normal papers, a gesso or a primer or whatever it might be would be great. I mean, the thing as well is I tend to stick to some books where I don't use wet media and some that I do. Some people use wet media on everything and they like to do that. I don't know, I just go with the flow, just whatever I fancy on the day. So I'm just putting the reds. But what you all up to? What you colouring? Are you crafting? Are you diamond painting? What you all doing at the moment? I'm doing everything, and I quite literally mean that this time. Like, I'm diamond painting, trying to get to grips with card making. I'm making all the things. I'm colouring. Oh, I've nearly finished my Wilson buddy colour. Wilson, you thought I'd be till May. You're having a ball. Oh, Debbie, I love to hear that. Helen, did you get any colouring stuff for your birthday? Yeah, I just go with the flow. I go with what I fancy at the time. Sometimes I fancy things, sometimes I feel like sticking to plain old pencils. Okay, so I'm just going to dot in a bit more now. This is quite pigmented. As it comes down to her hair, it is. So I'll do some of it to show you. So we'll come up a bit. So that'll be a little bit more pigmented. Probably here I'll dot some as well. So right at the bottom here, I'm going to water this down a little bit more. So just clean my brush off on my cloth. And I'm just going to come in with some of that white with it. And I'm just going to dot some of that in. So I've mixed white in with my red and a little bit of a pink. I'm just going to dot that down. And I'm going to keep the washy look because I like it. I'm just going to stick to doing that at the bottoms. Do watercolours work on the cardstock you use? They do, but not heavy amounts of water. So if I do that, I will do small amounts. So I'll use a water brush, not one of these, because these hold an extreme amount of water because they're made for paints, you know, probably like watercolour paintings. So as long as you have a damp brush and not like slapping a load of water on your page, then yeah, my cardstock that I use, I have thrown, the girls will tell you here, I've thrown everything on it over the years and I've never had a problem, but it's not made for it, so it all depends on the control of the waters that you have. But honestly, it's trial and error, and I say that all the time. People, you know, they'll say, oh, I had a disaster, and I think, well, you might have this time around, but next time you won't do the same thing. So it is, trust me, I've had some disasters. So it really is control, and it's also trial and error. So just, if it goes wrong, it doesn't matter. If you put too much water first time around, it doesn't matter. Just try again, and it will soon work out. You'll find your way with stuff. And that's the same with papers and everything else as well in between. What is it that I'm using? I'm using Gansai Tambi Watercolors, and I'm using a Squirrel 10 brush. So 10's the size and Squirrel's the like the shape of the brush. And I'm literally just dabbing in at the moment just to make that sort of cherry blossom look. And oops, just having fun with it. I'll show you whilst I'm waiting for some of this to dry. I'll show you my progress on my Ken Matsuda in my free time that I'm doing. I'm loving that book, by the way. If you want a recommendation of mine on a current book that I'm loving, I'm going to say the Ken Matsuda one is definitely up there in my top 10. Probably my top 5 at the minute. And the paper's really nice in it. It's got some tooth. Don't you find it's got some tooth? Hello, Ashley. Sorry I missed you. Hi, Michelle. Anyone I missed? Hope you're having a good day. Some of you, your day's just starting. Ours is like nearly 5 o'clock, coming up to 5 in the afternoon. So we're going into the latter part. And you don't laugh, guys. Don't laugh. You know what I ended up doing? I ended up spending 2 hours flicking through books, not knowing out of your choices what I fancied. Started with a Jasmine Beckett, and then I thought it was going to take too long. I'd rather do something that I could possibly do in this stream, if not a lot of it. Famous last words. I sit there to myself after and I think you're having a laugh with yourself. Hello, Mandy. Never going to get it done, but I can aim. So I'm just dabbing in some more pigment. So you see, as it comes down, it is really going to have like some really cute tones of reds and pinks. So I'm just going to add in just a bit more of the red coming down here, and the same with here. And you can kind of just judge it by how much you want coming down. You add in, you can wash it a bit more, just like that. And we have it all in sort of that way. Oh, adulting, I know. Today's been one of those days that I had to just stop and pause for today. Oh, by the way, for those of you that were asking, Dad's okay. I took him to accident and emergency on Sunday morning. Then I had to go pick him up again because it's only down the road from Mum's, and then take him to another hospital. He was, I don't know how, his pain threshold must be through the roof because he had a deep infection. He still had metal fragments in his hand. He had to take him to the plastics department in another hospital, and he's got to go back there tomorrow morning, so that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. But yeah, he has a very nasty injury to his hand. And then there's him being all like, I'm not going to the hospital, and there's me being the daughter going, yes you are. And the doctor, and yes Dad, I know you're listening, because Mum watches. Dad, listen, and Mum, you're both stubborn. They both never want to go to the hospital, and then the doctors are like, it's so good that you came. It's so good that you came. You were just at the right time. And I'm like, did you hear that? Did you actually hear that, Mum? Did you hear that, Dad? Did you take notice? Plastics department, like plastic surgery department, although he might not need that. They have stitched some of it. I won't give you the horrific details, but the webbed part they can't stitch because of where it is. And he has it all the way up the fingers. But I buddy strapped it so that the injured finger was buddied so that it doesn't get worse. So I buddy strapped it until we went. And this has all been stitched, but all the webbed part hasn't. But he might not need, I don't think he's going to need further intervention, but they'll redress it and assess it tomorrow. So yeah. Anyway, won't go into the gruesome details of it, but it wasn't a very nice injury, and it was a good job he went because he had to have tetanus injections, and I know it's precautionary. But his hand was in a bit of a mess, to say the least. So he's out of action, which is going to kill him because my dad has a ridiculous amount of energy. I don't know about you guys, if one of your parents feels like they're on Zoom land. He is permanent. He's like a 30-year-old. I'd say even less. He's like a 15-year-old. He doesn't sit still. Mum will tell you. He just does not sit still. He has always got something on the go, Dad. He always has done. And he's a hard worker. He doesn't sit down. So this is going to kill him because his hand's got to be out of action. Like, sit down. Sit down. Do not do anything. You're not to go near a car. Don't go near, because that's what happened. He dropped the car engine on his hand. Okay, I'm just going to heat gun a little bit. But yeah, so that was that. That was the antics that I've been up to. So if you've ever got someone that's as stubborn as my parents with going to the hospital, just make them go. Just make them go. Being the only like daughter is kind of it's my it's not a duty. It's just something you know you do. Okay, so can you see how nice and deep that some of them are and some of them are washed out? Now we're going to go back to being a bit washed out again. So with my palette here, I'm going to bring in some more white. So I'm just going to spray. Ah, thank you. Yes, stubbornness. What's that? And then, of course, me being me, I'm like, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear what the doctor actually said to you? And he actually wrote it on his notes. Daughter advised, yes. Yeah, I have to tell him, sit down. Kenny, he's got so much energy. It's crazy. Right, so I'm putting white in here. And I'm going to get some of my red from there. And it's so washed. Andrew will tell you how much energy my dad's got. He never stops. He puts us to shame, doesn't he?
What?
Dad.
Oh yeah.
Energy.
We're like the 60-plus-year-olds.
And he's like the 15.
Your dad is
Seriously.
in his 30s. Hi everyone, by the way. Otherwise I'm just cutting it.
Yeah, he's got so much energy. Okay, so I'm going to get some of that. And in there, I'm just going to add a little bit more. Yeah, he's got a ridiculous amount. I don't know where he gets it right. I wish I had his energy, to be honest. Well, I did until my back went kaput. I didn't sit down. Andrew would tell you that. I could go for hours when my feet did not leave the ground. 12, 14 hours, didn't think anything of it. It's just how it goes, but I did have his energy. I did. Yeah, oh, it's funny, isn't it, Lottie? Daughter advised. I was like, It's the same with Mum. Mum's like, I'm not going. And I'm like, yes, you are. After a tantrum, she phones me back up. Okay, when can we go? I'm like, oh my God, I'm swapping you both. But anyway, so I hope you've all had a good time over the weekend. I have been hospital dropping and just, on the go. And I needed just yesterday and today to have a bit of a pause. But I did make a card, which I'm so proud of myself. I was like, oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to grab some more pigment from there, and this is just pure pigment now. And you can just dot around. You don't have to like add tons, so you can judge it. I'm just judging on bits that I want a bit more, this bit especially, like these little bits. And then the rest can be a bit washy, so get a bit of water on my brush and sort of wash that out a bit. So just layer up, just keep coming back in until you're happy with it. So this bit is nice and washed. So I'm going to come back to this pigment here. Thanks! I know, I do actually love pink. I don't like it around the house, but I love like pink at heart. I'm a pink girl at heart. But I like things pink. The house is very neutral. The house doesn't reflect my personality. I'm very minimalist but the things that I like in life are generally pink or rose gold. Like if I'm going to choose something and I say like I want a stationery set or something, it's going to be pink. That type. Or a diary, you know, like crafty stuff. I'll always head to pink. But it's so strange because it's like in the house, if I ever had a little girl, God, my pink dreams will be lived through them. Okay, so we need some more water on this. Just plain water now. Yeah, I can live my pink dreams for if I had ever had a daughter. Then I can go to town with pink everything, all the things. God, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Just make, like someone puked up bubble gum all over the room. That's how, bless their hearts, they might end up with a room like that. Which messenger, Han? The Facebook. As I just said earlier, I haven't been on Facebook in ages. Yes, of course, I'll check the messenger. Of course I will. Ah, and everyone, if you are into nails, Miss KP has her own business. Go check it out. How's it going, KP? It looks like it's going really well. I hope it is. You like purple and green and all the pinks. So I'm just going to dry this off a little bit. And we're going to do a bit more of a wash. Ah, thanks. Yeah, I'm just kind of following the guide actually, just with pinks and reds rather than just reds. Facebook. Okay, I'll have a look after, I promise. I promise. Jen loves her nails, doesn't she? When I was watching Jen's vlogs, I was like, ah. I love her zero one she did. Okay, so we're going to go with a bit more of a red pigment again. So I need something quite deep. So I'm going to get some more of the red and I'm just going to put it in my palette with a tiny bit of water. And we're going to go straight in with some details. So very small amounts. And you know, the type of thing with this is that it's watercolour is loose. Well, this kind of watercolour is loose. Thank you. Oh, I'd welcome that. No, it's funny because the nursery will be white and grey. White, grey and like a pale yellow or something like that, or a touch of pink. But nurseries will always be white, and then the I'm talking like I'm having a baby, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, for the future. I've always said this, and then when they finally get to an age where they start to say, yeah, pink, I'll be like, Andrew, down to the DIY store, sir, or the granddads. Down to the DIY store, we are got to go to pink, and that's how it would go. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit more of a red here, I think, because we just got pink there. As I said, my house does not reflect like my likes in terms of colour, because I just love minimal. Right, I'm going to smush that out, and I'm going to come to here and smush out a little bit more. I'm just going to get some water, just plain water, and just leave that like that. Okay, can you see how that will be? Now, you know that wash I did? I need some red in there. So I'm going to bring the red into that wash. And I'm going to add some more. So I'm just going to get my distress sprayer. And I'm literally just going to mix that. So it's like a reddy pink. This is a Zen Art. It's a number 9 round fork squirrel. These are great. They hold a lot of water. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in a little bit more of a layer up with it. Let's bring some in there. So again, you can just kind of judge how much. We've done it the first time round, so we're going to get another light little round of it, but we're not going to put too much. It's just where we need a little bit more of a colour. So you can just dab. And the thing is with this, you can kind of like have quite a bit of water on your brush and bring it outwards, just like that. This is just my version, by the way. You can do whatever you want. But if you're always scared about doing something like this, it's better to do it with a watercolour paper. So, and this is, so that's my, yeah, it's lovely, this one shell. It really is. You can get up, again, I'll link them after the stream. Okay, so we need a nice bright red again. Okay, where am I? Right, I'm going to just get some clean water. Bear with. That's it. Oh, let me show you my page that I'm doing in the Ken book. Okay, so I'm doing this as a body colour with wheels then. I'll show you. I'm doing the bee. I'm doing the bee. And I'm doing it in light fast. So this is how it's coming out so far. And I added dripping honey. I don't know if you can see that. And I added them to the pansies as well. I added in my own honey. So the bottom of the bee has got honey. And the pansies have got honey, but yeah, I'm so happy with how this is coming out. So I've probably got another, like, I don't know, few hours invested into this one, and I'm going to do some gold honeycomb at the back. But I'm really enjoying that one, and if anyone wants a book recommendation, Ken Matsuda's book is just amazing. I'm loving it so much. So let me just move that. So if you wanted to know what I used on the honey, just in case, I don't know if you can see that. It says at the top, dripping honey light fast. So it's apricot chestnut for the shadow, gold champagne, a yellow light, just a hint of, and some dark orange. And granite is just to make the shadow. So I have written down what I've used, barring the pansies. The purples for the pansies I've written down because I didn't want to lose them. But thank you. I'm so enjoying that. Oh, I'm not a fan of them, KP, but honestly, I just really, this called to me, this one. And the other one that's calling to me is the one beside it. So, like, the Nemos, that one. And another one that I really like is this fish one. This one. I really like that one because it's not too busy. It's so simple. The Amma book. I can't. A man's red tie. A man's red tie. I don't know how to say it. Or the breastfeeding Norwegian one. Hello, anyone coming in? Hi, Diane. Sorry, I was just trying to see too many names at the same time then. Okay, so I'm going to come in with my just plain red. But yeah, I'm enjoying that. So if you want a really nice like book, recent one, and you like doing animals, but not like, I mean, they don't have to be realistic because they've got so much on them. You can kind of make them as, you know, as realistic or as not as you want, really. Okay, so I'm going to come to this like whitey type of, it's like, there we go. Let's just bring some out. So I'm going to bring it over to here as well. Let's bring a little bit more. And I'm just going to slosh down a little bit more of the watered down wash as well. Okay. But yeah, oh gosh, isn't for those crafters out there, isn't that a deep hole? I went down a rabbit hole. Just call me Alice from now on. I know, it's so funny. I said last night to Andrew, I was like, I can't be calling it that, even though it'd be apt and it would be correct, but I can't be calling it that. So I'm going to call it a man's red tie. That's the new Anastasia Ellie Colderiva, for anyone wondering. I don't know how to pronounce it, so instead of butchering it, a man's red tie, it shall be. Okay, so I'm coming down with my wash. I'm going to go over all of these. You can just slosh on a little bit, and you can be loose. You can actually put down some water beforehand, and let it run. But if you've got it watered down enough, it will do that for you anyway. So we're going to bring it over here. Slosh, slosh. And just have fun with it. So it comes down like a curtain all around her. So hi, Adela. Ah, Connie. I need to get out of it. So just call us Alice. Call us Alice, okay? There's no rabbit. We're down the hole. There's no rabbit. It's just a deep one. We don't have to eat anything or drink anything to get small to go down there because we fell anyway. Anyone that knows what I'm talking about, it's a spending hole of doom. No, it's not doom. It's just a big giant hole, and anyone that's crafting can understand that. I think any crafter can understand that hole. Okay, so some bits are going to be a bit deeper than others, so you can always like just grab a bit more pigment, and while it's wet you can just move that around a lot easier. So you can just grab those pigment bits, and while it's wet it will just run, and that's the way to do it. Before it dries, let that water do its job, and just let them run. So you can grab a little bit more on your brush and let the colours run a little bit. So just small and steady, and then we'll go in with some more details very shortly. So the bottom's going to be your most pigmented, so I'm just going to slosh that first, but while it's still nice and wet for myself. And just like that, you've got enough colour down to kind of have a little bit of a guide. Hold on, let's have a look. Spending whole of doom, yeah. I think any hobby, it doesn't matter what it is. Like for men, you know, they can have that with golf club. Not that Andrew golfs, but I'm just saying some older guys, they golf, even younger ones, and some have like a car hobby where they like to do cars up, buy like cars and buy parts for them and do them up and sell. You know, it doesn't matter what hobby it is. There is hobbies for everyone, and whatever you're into is going to cost some money. Of course it is. That's what it's about. You spend money to create something and have fun with. I mean, there are generally people that don't have hobbies. There are. I mean, I just can't imagine not having anything. You know, whether it's reading or, you know, something to keep my hands busy. I think for mental health, you know, I don't suffer with depression. You know, we all have our days where we say we're having a low moment, but in general, I don't suffer with depression. Anxiety's been more so the past year because of the pandemic, but I suffer just, you know, the reason why I took this up was actually work originally, because I had a really demanding job and I needed an unwind. But whatever the reason is, I think it's just such a saviour. Anything that you can sit and focus and get lost in is a saviour, and I think it's such a good thing to be able to do, whatever it might be, just to have a moment where you think that hour's just passed and I was in my own little world and I didn't even know. You look up, you look at the time and you think, oh my gosh, it's at the time. It just means you've had a good time. It truly does. It means that you've really got lost in something, and it can be a lifeline. I've spoken to people from all different walks of life, and I just can't imagine not having a hobby, and they couldn't. And you know, even if you got to spend on it, who cares? Hiya, Vin. Take care, cat. I know. I say that all the time. I say to Andrew, finally he went and took one up after all this time, but he didn't have anything for a while apart from the gym. But I mean indoors, and I was like, you need something indoors, mister. And then he was like, I've always wanted to go back to piano. I was like, do it. And you know, it's been such a blessing over this past year with him having been stuck at home. And yeah, he is, you know, still doing the bus driving, but because of his autoimmune illness, he has a government letter that he has to stay home. So of course he's back on furlough, and you know, it's just been one of those things. And anyway, long story short, if he hadn't had the if he hadn't had a hobby, he would have found it a lot harder, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's bring you up a minute. And I think it's important for everyone to have something. Exactly. Ah, Tammy, see? So it's giving you something to really focus on, which is the whole sole purpose of it. Okay, so I'm just going to put... I don't have to dry it completely, but I have to start layering in a bit more. So I don't want it wet. So I'm going to just dry it off a bit. Oh, Emma, I'm telling you, I found it really hard last year to concentrate, and I'm still trying to... to be honest, it's not so much like that now. It was last year, because it threw us into a loop, didn't it? We didn't know what to expect. And it's natural. It's natural to have that feeling. But we found our way again. And a lot of us now are trying to get back into it and a new normal. And I think most of us are getting our creativity back. So, okay, so I need a pure pigment again. So let's bring a little bit more back in here. So what I'm going to do is leave that one because I like the look of that, because I can always bring pencils in and add a little bit more. And you know what I'm going to try at the top, just as an experiment, a little bit of Distress ink. So let's have a go at that. Yes, pick it up, Vin. I always call Vin, even though her name's not Vin. But I just love Vin. It's Emma, isn't it? But I'm so used to calling Vin or Vin Pip. Vin's lovely. We've had a drink together. It's she's amazing. And I just cannot wait until the day we can all do that again safely. Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much. I was hoping you'd come in. You know what for? Bless your heart. I spotted that and I was like, no way. So thank you so much. I am making my way through. If you wouldn't mind emailing me your address, honey, I'm making my way through people, and I'll be, as I said, over the next few months, I'm going to be sending out cards to people. So if you don't get me this month, it'll be next month, and I'll be asking like a bunch of people, can I have if you don't mind. You don't, well, of course, don't have to, but I'm going to be asking a bunch of people if I can have their addresses, just to send them a little card. So I'd really appreciate if that's okay. If you don't hear from me this month, don't worry, I will be contacting people over the next few. I have to stagger it out, as you know, everything's still backed up in the post anyway. But I will be sending thank you cards out, so bless you. Yes, it's from AliExpress and it's not expensive. It's like $20. It's a nice cheapy one, and the paper is gorgeous. So the paper is like a watercolor. It's like cotton. It's like a thick cotton watercolor paper. It's beautiful. Okay, so I'm just dotting in some reds. And let's add a bit of that dark pink now. And the pink is just going to be on the very end. And, whoops. Let's go for a little bit more. So the ends are going to be the darkest. I want to keep that light. Now, should we have an experiment? Hiya, Katrina. Good morning. Oh, nicely. Right, so let's dry that off a little bit. And let's just see. It might not work, but we will soon know. It's a great price and a great book. You know when I hadn't picked it up for so long. It was in one of my suggestions to colour. We're going to do the girls shortly, but we just needed to do some of that background. And then we'll do all the pencil work. Thank you. So I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to try something now, and it might completely go wrong, but if it does, it doesn't matter. We can try it anyway. So I'm going to grab not Worn Lipstick, where's the other one? This one. Festive Berries and my little dabber, and I just want to see something. So, oh no, really? Oh, it's a shame. They do it on Etsy, but you'll pay a little bit more for it. I just want to see. Oh, it will work. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to bring you down. All the details I've got going with pencil, but we've got the watercolour done anyway. So just with the side of this, I'm just going to dot in some, this is the Festive, let me show you which one, Festive Berries, but we can't re-wet this now. It's got to be completely dry before you do this. I'm just going to dot in a little bit of colour just to add. Now I've got the small applicator. If you can hear any snoring, Chip is snoring his little head off, bless him. So I'm just going to add in some extra red to certain areas. You can use your applicators for larger areas. I'm just doing the small one. This controls some of the pigment that's coming off as well. So actually weeks back, that's like it's going to be in my, can you send it again, because then it'll go up to the top. Sometimes they go in a, I generally try and, as I said, just if I don't message, just resend something. I say this to people all the time, it's not that I haven't seen it, it's not that I've seen it, it's that it's probably gone down in a junk folder or my filtered folder and I've not seen it, and then it goes after a few weeks. So if you just copy and paste it again, so send it to the top, I'll have a look. But yeah, I try and get back to everyone, but if I've missed you, I apologise. If you just resend it, hun, it will boost it to the top. It's probably gone in the filtered then. Sorry. It's not purpose. It's not on purpose. I promise. Oops. Right, okay. Can you see that it comes out a little bit more? Okay, so it just adds a little bit more dimension to it. Okay, so I'm just going to move that a minute and bring you over. And this is actually quite a good idea to add the ink as well, so just to give a bit more pigment before we add pencil detail. And we can add some pinks in with some pencil. Just a little bit. Right, let's come down here. So this is just Festive Berries. And you literally just need to dab. And then we can do something else. And this can go on some of this as well, I'll show you. Hiya, Debbie. I'm quite happy that I tried this because I would have thought it would have, you know, run or... But it's seeming to hold up. So make sure your page is dry first because inks will run. And then if you actually wanted to extend some of that colour at the ends, that's a good way of doing it. So just a nice light application, you can actually bring some of that red out. Yeah, I'm quite liking the effect of that actually. Alright, so it's working out pretty well. Yeah, that's why I said it's really going to be a mixed media page, Mary. You don't know until you try these things. So we know that if you have a watercolour, it gives it some more tooth as well. And then you let the page dry, the inks actually work really well on top. So that's another thing we've learned. I mean, I've learned that. I didn't know that. I thought it might have run, but actually it's working out pretty well. So let's bring some of that out. It's working out quite well. No, Chica, I would be so mad. Have you checked them? The thing is, I get this no contact delivery, I get it, but when you're waiting on something, it could be fragile, they can't do that. Just leave it on the doorstep, place it. Place it. You know, it won't hurt them to place, will it? Okay, so we're just going to bring out some of that very lightly on the page. I'm going to bring down over here. And then in her hair, so you know, I'm going to bring it down. You resent it. Oh, bless you. I'll have a look after, hun. Just, as I said, resend and I'll have a look in my Insta. I haven't been in my filtered folder for a long time. Okay, so I'm going to bring some of that in here. And where else has she got some reds? Let's have a look at our thing. Bear with me. Right, so on the original, which is here, she's got red. Her sort of skirt bit here is red. The cat's got some red. So let's just put on the cat's, just very lightly, the cat's lead. Is that a lead? Let's put some of that on there, because then we've got a guide, haven't we? And we can sort of work with that after. Okay. And so she's got some more ribbons in her hair that are red. And then, hold on. So she's got some bits here, some ribbons there. They're red. And then she's got a ribbon here that's red. And we're going to dot out a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do is we can try out some of that Kitsch Flamingo quickly as well. So, we got a new Distress ink. It's very textured paper, but yeah, they do actually work really well. Dee Dee uses them as well on here. Let's get our Kitsch Flamingo, which is a very light pale pink. And just here by her head, I'm just going to bring out some of that pink. I've got pinks and reds here. I'm just going to bring out some of these inks. So as I said, this is very much a mixed media page. Some we're using inks, some we're using watercolour at the moment. And you know where this would be good? At the top. So let's bring, it's this, just to let you know, it's Kitsch Flamingo. And I'm just going to bring some of that really nice bright pink in at the top. So we're just going to go over. I might actually bring my dabber. I've got pink on it. So I'm going to bring in some of my dab because it's a bit too small. So I'm going to get my page and I'm going to bring some of that nice pink in over that watercolour just to give it some extra colour. You see that? So you can just at the side. Just like that. Let's bring in some extra because it's very much a pale pink, this one, so you can just add just small amounts like that. Okay. Ah, thank you. Hey, you pickle. Oxide is the whole thing of how it activates with water. So hold on. So say I was to just, best person to watch is Karen, Zucchini Kitty. So say you did that on your paper. So let's run a little bit more in there. And then I spray it. It's all to do with the oxidization of the water. Yeah, it doesn't buckle, but it does still have the crinkle. Okay, so how it works is you spray then and you let the oxidization go with the ink and it starts, can you see all those little bubbles? And the more you do it, it's not on this crappy copy paper, but the more you do it and the more you dab, you can end up with a really cool effect. So you can dab off and you can get like lots of bubbles. It's not the best paper to show you on that one. I have to get a proper piece of paper. Hold on, a better cardstock than that. It's all to do with that. It's all to do with the oxidization of the water, I think. go over to Zucchini Kitty. Honestly, she's got a video on all of that and she explains it so much better than I am. Okay, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add in a little bit more of the reds as well, but I just want some of that pink to come down because I just want to add some extra to it. And just blend it out. And the good thing is it does blend out really well. Okay. Yeah, I'm just having one of those days where I just want to use everything. Okay, can you see that with the inks as well, how that's gone? Now, if you want to, we'll do the pencil work later, or I'll just add, I'll show you what I'm going to do. So with my reds, with the reds, and maybe a magenta or a processed reds. I'm just grabbing Prismas, because they're the nearest thing I've got. Yeah, I might not see it if you ask a question, unless you stick it in caps, and even then I'd probably still miss it, but I don't mean to, so I'll try and catch it. That was a mouthful. Okay, so when you come down to say this bit in her hair here, can you see? I'm going to bring the light over so you can see that. So it's all wishy-washy, right? So I'm going to get myself a couple of colours. I think I'm going to get myself raspberry, maybe poppy red. Let's have a look. We'll get poppy red for ourselves. We'll get some raspberry, as I said, and then maybe I'll grab myself pink or do I want pink? Yeah, we'll get pink. Okay, so just to show you what the details can look like when you add it in. You bought the book, Angela. Is that because of this string? Hold on, we have to do the beep beep. Oh gosh, okay, so we're going to go for poppy red. Lozzie needs your ticket. Lozzie, did you collect it? I was on the struggle bus the other day. Okay, so it just adds a little bit more detail in. Just to let you know, there is like a 15-second delay from when I say something to when you actually get it on your screen, in your, down your like microphone. There is a little bit of a delay. Then I'm going to get like a, my raspberry. Yeah, the Prismas go on it fine, KP. It is textured though, just to warn you. And then you can add like, if you need to add anything, and you can add little dots in, which we're going to do with some Posca. So it's just, you're not going to add too much detail because you've got it in there. So it's just to enhance some colour. Just to make sure that we've got enough in there. And then, can't wait to add all the gold and stuff in her hair as well. Your body colouring, I love it. Hiya, Emily. You just the best people ever. I'm gonna see this book everywhere soon then, I should expect. It is a great book. Okay, so when I'm coming down here, I've got my raspberry. I'm just gonna bring some into her. And the good thing with this one, I don't feel like I've got to add a ton of colour in it because I feel like the illustration's enough. So I'm quite embracing whites on this bit. And then when you want to add the dots in with your Posca, which is the next bit, you can do fine liners as well. Welcome back, Kat. So I don't know if you've seen on Cherry Blossoms, they have sometimes like little white bits. So you can just add in like the dots in between as well. So you can just, you know, do little tiny bits as you go along. And the same with the bow, you can add in like highlights. But as I said, I don't feel like I have to have a ton of colour in this. I know this gorgeous book, it really is, it doesn't get enough attention in my house. But I'm trying to get through books that are uncoloured, so I am definitely doing the Colour My Hoard by Lavella. Okay, so I'm not going to go all the way up because I've not done the rest, but I wanted to show you the colours like to pick. So if you wanted to add some pinks in, go to your pinky areas, so say over here, and grab mulberry maybe, and your pink, and just, you know, shade in a little bit of detail. Again, you don't have to shade much because it's there. You can just add in just a little bit. So grab your mulberry and grab your pink and just literally add a little bit. And that's the thing with this, I don't feel like I have to add a ton of colour because I love that washy look. So it is just enhancing some of it, not all of it. So just bits where you can think, oh, that needs a little bit more colour than that. And then you can grab like your red, your poppy red. And then if you wanted to add any extras, you can just bring out some pencil to add in a little bit more. Yeah, just go to town with it. And then this, you can get like a bit of brown on your paintbrush and try some, or you can just leave it. I think I'm going to leave mine. And you just add it in, and then if you wanted to add some extras in, like of dots, just add a few in here and there. So yeah, nice, I like it. So I'm going to start on the girl, because the background is practically going to be like that. So nice and loose. And we're going to start on her. So I'm going to start just with a base of some watercolour, I think. And we're going to go with brown hair. So let's add that over there. Hold on. Let's move stuff. Okay. Let's bring in, so I've got my palette here. And I've got my palette on here. So there's a really nice, there's burnt sienna and raw umber deep, these two, so you can mix them up with some white even. And let's keep her as close as possible to the colours. So on the original it's got like a very pale blue. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a really pale blue in hers. So I'm going to kind of go with the colours roughly. So let's pick out oh nice, Suzanne. I do love roses. I do love roses. They're one of my favourites. My roses are just dying now, the ones from Valentine's Day. Alright, I'm just going to bring you down. That's better. Alright, so I'm going to pick, remember it's easier to just wet your palette. So much easier. And then there's a really nice blue there, and obviously your white. Just, it's so much easier to spray. So I'm going to mix some in my palette. I'm going to start off with some blue for her clothes. I'm going to put the, just to let you know what I'm doing, I'm going to go for the raw umber, or burnt, is it raw umber? So number 40, no. Number 46, that is, and number 47. So we're going to add to sort of mix those two together. That's probably the right tone I'm looking for. And then if I need to water down some with some white, I'm going to put the white beside it if I need to add. That's it. If I need to add a little bit of that in, I will do. So I'm just getting the colours that I need. Let's go with some of that. Right. Alright. And then you can go with pure pigment after. Right, let's get those on. Ah, Poppy, that's so sweet. Thank you. Just tried the new Pringles sizzling cheese chili. Rapidly regret. Go and get some milk. Shell, go get some milk. Okay, right, let's go for let's go for some of that brown on her hair first. So you don't have to go like wild, we can just add in. And then we can wash it down anyway. So if I just put water on my brush now, with no pigment, just water, you can sort of brush that in. And then let's bring it into this part of her hair. So I'm just going to bring this brown in. And because it's got a nice, I don't know if you can see, it's like a very fine point. You can do those little bits there. Yeah, go get some milk. Okay, so if you want to add a little bit more pigment in, just go pure pigment now, whilst you're waiting for the rest to, just like that. And then I'm going to add some more of this brown in. But if anything, you know, if this isn't colour along as such, it's just nice to do a mixed media piece. And you can kind of just get your own stuff that you've got, whatever you've got. You know, you don't have to have this particular palette, as long as you've got a palette. And just get your watercolours, get your paint palette of any kind, and mix them and see what you can come up with. This is quite inexpensive, this palette anyway, which is always nice. It's always nice to have a bargain. Okay, so I'm going to grab some more of the dark. I'm just going to go down here with that. Just mix it into that lighter sort of tone. So she's got these bits coming down. And let me come up a bit so you can see what there we go. Okay, so I'm going to get like the darker. And this is sort of pure pigment at the moment. I'm just going to kind of put in some with the then lighter tones, and then I'm going to take that off my brush, and then I'm just going to spread it out with just pure water. Like that. So it's just got a little bit of pigment. you've got a lip job without the money. There you go. How much was the packet of crisps? That's not bad, isn't it? Plump up your lips for 50p. Whenever you eat something hot, it makes your mouth feel like it is like exploded into the Neverland, and it doesn't look any different, but to you it feels like it. Next time you see your mates, Shell, did you have your lips done? No, but I found a new hack. Here, have these. I had, oh, I love jalapenos. I love jalapenos. Does anyone else like hot food? I don't like it like blow your brains out hot, but I do like spice. So I love jalapenos. I put them on the top of my chili with some sour cream. I love them. And I had a ridiculous, I don't know if they just had not de-seeded that one or whatever it was, but this particular one was like blow your brains out. And I sat there for ages and I just couldn't feel my mouth. It lost all feeling. Yeah, I can eat them just out of a jar, but for some stupid reason, this particular one decided to be really hot. And yeah, I sat there for ages and I just could not feel my mouth. I just couldn't. It had gone. And I just thought, yeah, that was not cool. And then it kind of ruins your dinner in a way, because then you sit there and although you enjoyed it, you didn't enjoy it once your mouth went like that hot. And then you think, I can't taste anything now. But I love hot food. Love hot food. You know what I've still never tried though? I've never actually tried a vindaloo. Has anyone tried a vindaloo curry? I am not brave enough for that yet. Mind you, I don't really eat curries anymore, but I'm not brave enough for a vindaloo. Okay, so I'm going to just go to that umber, but I'm just going to go pure colour. So there is hardly any water on my brush at the moment. I'm just going to put in some pure colour. Her face I'm just going to go with pencils because I haven't mixed up any pigment. So I'm just putting in like a pure pigment now. Oh, I just love jalapenos. I love jalapenos. I love them. Okay, so I'm going to come down to this long hair now with my watery amount. So you know at the side here I've got some more water in it. So I'm just going to add a little bit more to that so it's nice and loose. I'm going to just very loosely bring, and the good thing with watercolour, you can lift off. I'm going to bring that pigment, and I'm just going to put some more water on my brush, and I'm going to drag that outwards. Because we've got to still have her clothes there, so just going to bring that out. Again, I'm just going to bring some more water. And this is mostly watered down now before I put details in. Just going to add enough there. Just so you can see the brown, so we've got something to work off. Now we can bring the details in with pencil, but we've got a nice amount of pigment. And I'm just going to get that pigment straight off, and I'm just going to bring it round. And same with that. And just bring right on up like that. So we've got a good amount on there. Now we've got to do a wash out on her clothes. Right, let's bring in some more there. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to get some more of my palette a second. Jalapeno. I call them jalapeno. I haven't got it on at the moment. I'll put it in the description for the brushes. It's great because it holds a lot, and plus it's got a fine point, and it comes in a set, which is even better. I'll find it for you, don't worry. Okay, so we've just got to go in all this bit. I'm going to get the gold paint out soon. Right, with her, I'm going to come up. Okay, can you see? So with her, her clothes, yeah, these are by Zen Art. I don't know if you can see. They come in a set. So this is a round 9 fork squirrel by Zen Art. They come in a whole set, a full set. If you can find them, if not, I'll do it after the stream. Okay, so I'm going to get some more of that blue in there. I'm going to water it down in the well. And that's going to come over her clothes very lightly. So I'm going to come over the entire bit here. Now, some of it will need a bit more pigment, so I'm going to dot it in while it's wet and spread. I'm just literally going to go over this part here. All her top's going to have this very pale blue, and then the bottom's going to have the reds. She's got like a bright red on. And all the details will be with Prismas. Okay, so I'm going to put that over here. Oops, what goes on her skin there. And while it's wet, you can wipe it, which is something I'm always, it's quite forgiving actually, watercolour, because it is watery. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. Her little kitty is going to be like white with some grey, and that's going to come over here as well. So very pale at the moment. We can add stuff in. I would put watercolour brushes in if you were looking. Just put watercolour brushes, watercolour brush set Zen Art, and see if it comes up. It's got a red tip on the end, that's how you'll know, like a mahogany tip. Okay. So I'm just going to come in with pure pigment a second, because it's nice and pale. It's not too overwhelming. And then we're going to go on the bottom, and then we're going to put details in. Now her hair we'll do with some pencil once it's dry, but it can sit drying most of the way, and we can just heat gun the rest. Okay, so then this bottom part here, she's got, majority is this like sheen. So we're going to go with some more water. So it's all in this part. Again, I will come in with more detail, and I need to put some grey in here as well. Over this whole thing. Don't worry if you smudge colours out a little bit, because it's quite forgiving and you can go over it anyway. And then get some more water. And I'm just going to go over the whole thing a second, because we can come in with some details very shortly. I just like doing these sort of things every now and then where I don't have to feel controlled. Because the thing is, when I do pencil pieces, I'm very controlled, as you know. But sometimes it's good to just let go. And just go with something completely out of your comfort zone. Right, let's go for some red. Now the red is going to come back to this part here. I'm going to put it in here. In there. This belt is gold, and then it's over here as well. So we're going to bring that all over here. So we've got the base, we've got the colour, and now we just need to work with what we've got. And we'll put all that detail in with Prisma soon. Okay, thank you. I'm really enjoying her. As I said, sometimes, do you ever have those pieces where you just think, just do something different to what you usually would do? I'm doing such a controlled pencil piece in the other book. Saturday, no doubt, would be back to a pencil piece. So it'd be nice to just do something where I'm just doing mixed. Right, so now we need to heat gun before we add in any more detail. Oops. And the good thing as well about watercolours is it's hard if you are someone that is used to control, but it's also nice to just let it all go. Yes, about that. There's about 36 for the whole set. Yeah. That sounds about right. Although they do go down to about 29 to 30, so I'd keep an eye. But yeah. That is about right. For some decent brushes, you're going to pay. You're not going to be paying like £5, but you can go to Jackson's Art as well, and you can buy their range. But I love these. They hold so much water. They also are very easy to control. Although they hold a lot of water, they don't release it until you release it down. So it's like, I don't know, they just work really well. You know, just when you have a supply and you can only go by how you feel about it. I've tried the cheaps, and cheaps are okay, they're good. Nothing wrong with the cheapies. But also on the opposite sense, if you want to, I got them as well for watercolouring. And yeah, I think if you're going to invest in something, I'm just very fortunate. Very fortunate. But if you're going to invest in something, if it's something that you're serious about, then yes. Yeah, the control's brilliant. It is brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to come to some just pure pigment at the moment. And I'm going to bring it into this bit as well. And because at the end, it actually makes it easy for you, which is really bizarre because you wouldn't think so, but it does. Kenny, you know, it's true what you say. It is a case of you get what you pay for, I think. I find that with a lot of things though, don't you? It depends on if it's something you're going to be serious about or not. And I say that all the time. Some people, it really isn't something. They just want to have a dabble. They're not sure yet. They want to have a dabble. And I'd say go onto an arts shop and get a single. If it's something that you know that you're going to do and you've had a dabble and you've bought the cheap and you now want to invest, I'd say get yourself something that you would use. So it all depends. Okay, so that's enough on there. So she's got a nice deep colour on that now. And then let's go for this now. Now his little lead, or I don't know what it is. It might be just, I don't know what that is. It looks like a lead to me. But I'm just going to go pure in there in a minute. I'm also going to add that. We've got to add, well, I've got to still do all the detail with pencil, but for the minute, I'm just adding in what I need to. Okay. Let's add it in there as well. Oops. I know what it's like. I've been doing it with all the paper craft stuff over the last few days. Yeah, let's just say I went from a very slimish wish list to a very fat and healthy one because I said to Andrew, it's every year he always asks me, he'll tell you, I'm not someone that ever wants anything, and I say to him every year when he says, what do you want for your birthday? I say nothing. My mum will tell you, I say it all the time, nothing, don't want anything. And this year I'm like, yeah, no, yeah, you're getting a list this time, sir. But they're only a few pounds each. They're not like big expensive items. Okay, let me stop there for a second. I'm going to switch on over from this paint set before we do all the pencil. And I'm going to grab these. And I'm grabbing the Inca Gold. See this one? And again, you have to spray. Just spray. Let it sit for 2 minutes. Ah, thanks. I'm just having fun today. Okay, so I don't think I need that for the minute. And I'm going to need to go in on some details with the gold. And then we're going to come in with pencils and like do all the details. Okay, so I'm going to bring you down and over. Is she in your screen? Yeah. Alright, so it needs to sort of mix and it has to have a nice consistency. So it needs to not be too watery, have enough on your brush. So I just mix it. You should, generally, the rule of thumb is like leave it for 2 minutes. Oh, am I doing it again, Angela? Am I doing it again? Am I showing things that you're like, oh, Sam, stop? Okay, these are great. They're great for detail. So you need a good amount on your brush. I don't know if I've showed you that, if you could see that, but can you see the amount that I've got on there? It's a nice amount. Okay, so what I'm going to do with these is come into all these little details. Before I add, because I want to go over to my pencils, but I don't want to do that yet. And if the light catches it, you'll see how pearlescent they are, but you won't see it on that tiny little bit, I don't think. So we'll come over down to here. They are so shiny and so nice. I'm just going in every little detail where I want gold. And I just generally go to the side of it. I'll show you it properly in a minute if I can. And my brush isn't too wet now. So I'll do those in probably the pencils, but I just want to do the bits surrounding them in that gold. And when it dries, you'll see how shiny they are. Okay, so I'm going to come down to his little ball here on his collar. I'm going to do the top part of that in the gold and the bottom, but try and leave that sort of bit in the middle where you can see that black line. And I'm going to do it on the other two as well. I just wanted some gold elements in this. The same with her belt. There is just some little like strips. Want to add. I just wanted to really play today, which I always like doing. I don't do enough of it where I just let like something that's not controlled and see what I can come up with. Okay, let me look at chat. Oh no. They're in your carts. There's so many of them, isn't there? What, brush cleaner? If you just wash them almost immediately after you've used them and let them sit on a piece of tissue, not upwards, like laying down, they generally will last you a lifetime. You just don't have to, just make sure that you've washed them thoroughly through with some nice clean water under a running tap, and they generally are good. Like, I've never had a problem. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay, and then is there anything else that I want some gold hints on? You know what you could do if you really wanted to, you know, in your cherry blossoms, just every now and then just put some gold bits. Just a little smudge of gold. That's actually quite effective. Just every now and then just put a tiny smush of gold, and you'll see when that dries, I'll show it to you. Not too much, just a touch. Just a hint. It's like it's got some royal feel to it. Let's have a look how that looks. It's quite cool actually. I'll show you in a minute. Let's dry it off and then we'll get the shine. Now if you need to go over anything you can do, and they really do shine up. Let's add a hint of that. And hold on, I'll be in chat in a second. I'm just adding it onto this bit around her as well. Add there. Gold and red and gold just look so good together. Let's add little embellishments of it, and then we can now go to some pencil on her. Right, let's try that off. You see those little gold bits now when they, see how shiny they are? And then in the cherry blossoms as well, when you just get the odd gold splatter, it just looks so cute. Anyway, let's add the details now. Let's get some pencils in on it. Let's do her skin. She's going to be quite pale, isn't she? Right, let me move this, guys. I'll bring you up so you can see the full thing. Can you see? And then we'll do her. I think I've got time to finish, or more or less. Hi. Andrew, you free? Oh, it's alright. Oh, tea when you're ready. I'll put it on the side. I'll leave it by the kettle. Okay, sorry. I was just moving the water because I know what I'm like, and I'll spill it. Okay, we're ready. Shall we do this now? Let's move these bits and bobs and let's get some pencils. Okay, so what I'll do is that I'll go and clean them off, and then I'll just leave it on the side with like, instead of it all going in this bit here, so you know it's all silver, just on a clean piece of tissue, just lay it down and let it dry overnight. So, and then don't stand it up until, that's not blood, that's paint. Don't stand it up until it's dry. So I'll just literally, that's what I'll do, I'll just leave it on the side. Okay. Thanks. It's just nice to do something different. Whoops. Something different. Okay, let's bring them down. Alright, so let's make sure we're dry. Let's just blast it with a gun. And I'll show you how shiny that goes as well. Okay, so if I show you the shine on that pearlescent paint, there's such little touches that you just like, don't you know what I mean? And you know what you can add on top of that after? You can add some glossy accents, but you can't be too like fiddly with it because it does run. Okay, let's do this now. It's just nice and something to do fun. I have got these ones as well, which I did swatch. They're just so shiny, these paints. They really are. They've all got a sheen and a shine. And when I do them, I keep them. These are the Supernova ones. I keep the stickers and I put them there so you know exactly what they are. But yeah, they're really nice paints. I got these in individual ones. I didn't buy them in a set. I bought the individuals. This is gold. It's the gold paint, the Coliro paints. Yeah, it's gold paint. Okay, so we're going to go in with some colour now. Sorry about the wibbly wobbly. And let's do some on her hair. So I think we're going to have sharp pencils. Yeah, no crayons. Can't stand. You know, I gave them to Mum. I was like, here you go. Have them. Okay, so I'm going to get myself some dark umber. Yeah, no, Vin, nope, never, never again. Mum was like, I'll have them, because she can't see her pictures yet properly. So she's like, I'll have them. Like, gladly, gladly, Mum, take them. So yeah, on Sunday when I went to Dad, I took them down to her. Okay, so we're going to bring in, this is just dark umber for some detail, and sienna brown. Let's bring in some sienna brown. So they left as quick as they were in my bad books. They went out the house. They were in and out. They didn't stay very long. They really didn't. Has anyone else ever done that? You really know that you're confidently never going to have something again, and or use something again, and you're just like, out, out, out you go. Okay, I'm going to bring in sienna brown, dark umber. Oh, the Arabic gold is my favourite, and the Inca gold, but the Arabic, yeah, it's the one that I've used the most. I've actually got half of that left. The Inca gold's just as good. If you want another gold that's very similar, it's Inca. Okay, sienna. Let's just bring in some details. As I said, I don't want to fussy this too much. And I want her to have really high rosy cheeks. Dark umber. Same with this bit. Now obviously it's going to be a bit darker, so I'm just going to bring in a little bit more of that dark umber there. What's a supply that you can confidently say that is just not for you? Mine is definitely crowns. You know, I don't mean to knock them if people like them, it's just for me. What's the supply for you? It doesn't matter even if it's something I always rave about, that you really just cannot, it's just not your, you just like, no, no, and no. Sorry about that, I'm just sharpening. Okay, so I'm just bringing more of that dark umber. And I'm going to put it in this bit as well. So it's dark and light, I'm just going to go through. And alternate, I'm just going to alternate between the two and see what I like. There's like a rope there, I'm going to keep that. I forgot it was there, and I'm going to put that in red as well. And the same with when it comes all the way down. I need some more of a lighter brown in there. You with me on crowns? Yeah, no. Pan pastels, Wilson, they're hard, aren't they? There's something that I need much more practice with, but always need finishing details with. But yeah, I get that. A lot of people struggle with them, but crayons are for me as well. Inktense, you want to throw them out, but a tiny piece of key string. You hate crayons as well, Kenny C. With a crayon club. That I really do not like them. I am so sorry. I offended someone, or if, you know, there are some people that, ugh. Just because it's a budget supply, and it's not even that. I am all for budget supplies. I just can't do them. I think because I'm now used to something else. It's so hard to get my hands used to that. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to bother trying. Why try? Why put yourself through that? Hobby's supposed to be good for you and fun for you, not frustrating. So if there's something that's like, yeah, not for you, there is some perseverance stage, but I can confidently say crayons for a tenner, no. You know, if it's like an expensive supply, I will have a go and another go and another go until I can say that, like, you know, I can't do it, I just cannot do it. But if it's something that's like that cheap, I'm not going to keep going with that. Just no. I'm not doing it. What about books? Oh yeah, Vin, they look so difficult, to be honest. My granddad used to be a painter. Mum will tell you if she's in chat. My granddad, her dad, he used to paint with oils, and he did the most extraordinary paintings. And Bob Ross makes them look easy. Like, no, he makes everything look easy. But yeah, I can see why with those as well. They're thick, aren't they? Markers, Katrina. What, layering and blending them, or you just don't even like straight colouring with them? Because straight colouring is quite cool as well. Okay, so that's that. Let's get some lighter tones in there. So let's get a bronze. We'll get bronze. So I'm going to put some bronze into the ears. And let's bring it to here as well. I think I'll put some greys, maybe some warm greys. What do you think? Then we'll do her little tone, skin tone. Oh, she's going to be quite pale. I want her very rosy cheeked. So we're just going to put some of this bronze. Distress inks would even be good on this bit. And just put some of that on this little furry bit. Take care. That's okay, Emma. Thanks for joining us. We're nearly done anyway. I'd say probably another half an hour. Connie's on at 7, I think. Definitely Marcus. Yeah, I think some people just can't get to grips with how, because they are unforgiving, aren't they? That's how I put it. It's not that they're bad, they're just very unforgiving, and they're a completely different media altogether than pencils. And when you're trying to learn something and something's not forgiving, and it's always like frustrating, it is hard. It is hard. Okay, so I'm going to grab myself French Grey 70, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a shadow underneath. But yeah, they are unforgiving. I'm not going to say that they're not. 20% French Grey, and I'm just going to put that all over before I put in some more bronze. Hi, Ruthie. Oh, the jam and toast one. Thanks. Jam and toast tea, by the way. Oh, he was. Ah, oh, so nice, Connie. Yeah, my granddad was. He used to do horses and scenery, and he had this horrible painting. It was amazing, but it was scary. Of Van Gogh. It was a portrait of Van Gogh that they had in their bedroom, of all places. Mum will tell you. And it had where he had his ear cut. Yeah, I was like, granddad. But he was an amazing painter. It's so realistic, that one, actually. Take care. Blending them, yeah. Take care, Kat. Thanks for joining us. Okay, I'm going to go for some bronze. And I'm going to pick up some of that sienna brown. I'm just going to put a little bit of this in there, like just a hint of it, like her hair. Yeah, blending markers isn't easy. It really isn't. And as I said, it's because they're unforgiving, and you can't do this whole light pressure thing that we do with our pencils. It's a lot harder. But it's learning a new technique altogether, isn't it, with markers? Okay, so these things I might do as a hair. There's that plait, so I'm going to get my dark umber. And again, I don't feel like I have to do a bunch of detail in this, which is nice. I feel like, you know, because it's quite a watercolory, wishy-washy feel, this book. To me, it feels like I can be a little bit looser with my colouring as well, rather than rigid and controlled like the other books. I feel like I could be a bit looser with this, which is nice. Okay, I'm going to get my sienna brown. I'm just going to bring a little bit of this colour in. Right, so before I do her clothes, I'm going to do her skin. So I'm going to go quite pale, but I want rosy cheeks. So let's grab myself a red as well. So before I do anything else, I just want to put poppy red in just to see where I'm going to put her nice rosy cheeks. So I'm just going to pop it here. And you're going to have to let go of like smoothing this paper out because it's toothy. So if that bothers you, just go straight for watercolour because the paper is very toothy. Okay, let's go for some peach. Thanks.
Can your fancy card making machine do this?
No.
No. See, there's still some life in me.
Yeah. You still do tea. I've not replaced you yet. He's still thinking about me replacing him. Okay, so I'm going to go with light peach. I'm just going to go all over before I start layering up because she is going to be very pale. I need to get some nectar. Okay, so you're going to have to really let go of any, like, oh, it's got to be smooth. It's not going to be smooth. Okay, so I'm going to get some nectar. And I'm just going to start layering in a little bit. And we're going to bring it down into here as well. He's learning, bless him, he's learning a new song. What are you learning now?
Do they want to hear something?
Just looking forward to the next recital. What are you learning?
I finished I'll Never Leave You, so I could play that at the end, so it doesn't interrupt everything.
I'll have to turn my microphone up when you do that. Like right up. Okay. Yeah, well, that's going to be in about 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to get henna. Just make sure I layer in some of that. Yeah, what's the new one that you're learning? I can't remember what you said.
I haven't decided yet, I'm choosing.
Oh God, he's like me. Do you know those days when we can't choose a page to colour and you have too many and you sit with books in front of you for 3 hours? That's him. Oh, thank you, Benita. I'm going to put poppy red, so she's going to have really bright cheeks. I don't know if you've seen, but the geisha ladies, they have these really bright cheeks, don't they? So I'm going to kind of base it a little bit off their makeup. So they have like a really nice complexion of like pale, but then they have the brightness of the makeup. So I'm just going to blend out that edge with some light peach. Same on that one. And I'm just having fun with her, to be fair. I'm going to put my nectar, and on the underneath here I'm just going to grab my my umber just to shadow a little bit, and then my henna. So we're not going fancy today, we're not doing any fancy skin tones, we're just putting colour down. And then we're going to go for some nectar. And then we're going to go for our peach. Yeah, it's because he signed up to this new piano thing, and you know what it's like when you sign up to something new and they have a catalogue of about 50 million songs, and he's like, he sees something, it's like, I want to do that, and then he saw something else, he's like, but I want to do that, and then he saw something else, he's like, but I want to do that one, and it's like, for Christ's sake, just choose. But then I can't say anything, because some days I sit here and what do? Flick, 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 flick.
Go through a stack of about
books.
20 books.
And then I go.
And it takes an hour.
And then
after an hour, she still doesn't know.
And then what do I end up doing? Putting it all away. No. Yeah, what happens? The cart comes out. It goes straight back in the cupboard. I did that the other day, and he was like, oh, it's going back in. I was like, yeah, I can't decide. Bye went in the cart. It was like, okay, bye. Yeah, I do that all the time. I don't know about you, but I have days where I just cannot choose, and then I get everything out with the best intentions, and then everything goes back away, and I just think, nope, not doing it today. Okay, gonna go for peach now. So light peach is your base. Put some peach in. She's a bit porcelain-like, isn't she? Yeah, I do that all the time. Ah, hi, you unicorn. Okay. And anyone that has sent a message and I haven't seen it, please just bump it up. I don't mean to miss them. I do try my best, but emails and Instas and then filtered folders and then Facebook, and I'm never on Facebook, so I apologise for that. I'm never there, so it's not the best place to catch me most of the time. Insta, I'm most over there, or email even, just email. I'm terrible for social media recently. Like, I think it's because of all the negativity. I just kind of like tuned out. Does that make sense? You just read so much bad, and you just turn off, and you just, it's like a news site for all the bad, and I'm just like, no, not doing it, not today. Okay, so let's just do some of how her fabric's gonna look, and then let's just see on a whole how she'll be. I mean, it's nothing amazing, but it's alright. You know, it's alright. Start off with a blank canvas. Okay, let's put some more of that red in. But we'll do a pencil piece next. I'll have to choose one. I'll get Andrew to help me choose. Oh, I know. Me too. I just have days where I go weeks where I don't go on there, and I'm just like, and then I'll quickly post something up, then I'm off there again. And when I post something up, it doesn't mean I've gone through my newsfeed and looked, because I haven't half the time. I just quickly post something up and I'm gone. I'm off there again. I'm not looking through the newsfeed anymore. It's too much negativity. Okay. So her hands have also need colour, but obviously I'm not going to worry too much about that. Let's bring in some more of the nectar. And then of course it also like zones into everyone's circumstances at the moment, which is so sad for them. And then you have the people, I don't know, everyone's Facebooks have one of these people that you either used to go to school with or something, that airs every piece of dirty laundry that they've ever had on Facebook. Does anyone get them? Hiya, Molly. Does anyone else get that? They've always got that one that will literally air every single piece of dirty laundry that they have, and you think, and you sit there, and I say all the time, like, why? I'm just going to get sepia. But yeah, you know those people, don't you? And they're not someone that you speak to necessarily, they're just someone that you maybe went to school with, and you just think, oh my God, you know what ones? The posters, the notorious posters. No, I haven't, Unicorn. I've only just started in that web. I won't go any further in it just for the minute because I've already got a ridiculous amount of things coming in, and there's still the list is endless. Like, I had to stop myself and then take things out of my basket, like, just because, you still got to live. I'm like, this is terrible. Who created these things? Go away. Alright, let's bring you down a second and let's go for some blue slate. This one is. I'm going to put in some greys as well, but I'm just going to show you roughly what it will look like. Oh look, I've missed a couple of petals, so let me come in with poppy red. I didn't see them. Oh, silly me. Silly me. I'm going to do those petals. I missed them. I'm going to put just a couple of extras in because why not? So we've got a couple of petals there. Let's grab our raspberry. Oh my god, guys, honestly, if you want to try a new hobby and it was something that you were thinking about, like me, for years, and Shannon was the boost I needed, our lovely Shannon, who we just love, yeah, I am so glad I did it, because now I'm just swimming with ideas, swimming with possibilities, and all of that spark that I'd lost for a while seems to all be returning at the same time, which is lovely. Oh, I know. Everyone has one of those. Vin, right? It's so hard to just say, like, what you think. Because people go, oh, that wasn't very nice. But some people, I do think some people should not have social media. I really do. Everyone has the right to have social media, but there are some people that should not. And yeah, I'm just saying that. I'm not doing it. I'm like, I look at some days and I just think, I hear about it on the radio, and I was listening to Topics of Conversation on the radio the other day. We were talking about it was actually, and they were talking about it today, but it was a different story about trolling and stuff, and about the sort of things that are posted on social media these days. And it doesn't help the pandemic with everyone's at home, but some things should not be posted. They just shouldn't. Okay, so we're going to bring this down. But yes, Kenny, has your concentration come back, my love? I know it's so hard. Okay, going to go for cloud blue. I'm just going to put an extra bit of blue in there. And I'm going to go back to my blue slate and just put the extra in. And we're going to get some grey as well. So don't forget those like pleats. And we've more or less finished. I just need to do that little kitty, which is just going to be white with some grey. But she is almost done. I'll just finish her off. She only needs like another 20 minutes. I can keep going until I'm done, because it's not going to be like a polished finish. Yeah, same. I must admit, there are some I have left, I'm just going to put this out there, I have left about 10 groups in the last 3 weeks, because they were terrible. And this is hobby groups. And I just think, if you were new coming into this hobby, and you were on there, and this is what you walked into, it would make you question it, because you would just think, is everyone like this? And it's not. It's not a reflection. But there was some drama. Then there was an artist with drama, colouring book artist with drama. I posted that to Lou, Winchester Lou, and it was just too much. And I've just left so many groups. I just thought, I'm not doing this. I'm an adult. And that's the thing, I say this to people all the time. You have a choice. You're an adult. We don't have to stay around it. It's not going to offend anyone. If anyone comes to you and say, why did you leave? You don't have to even have a reason. You don't have to be around it. If you wouldn't sit around a table with it over dinner, you don't have to sit online with it. And that's how I look at it. So if hobbies become that way, where groups are posting so much, it's not a reflection of the group, it's a reflection of a few individuals, but if you don't want to be around it, you don't have to be around it. And that's why I like live streams as well, because they show you the good side of it. They show you what the communities are like. But it really... Hi, Karen. I was talking about you earlier. Look what I picked up. I picked up the new Kitsch Flamingo. It's a wonderful shade. Did you get it? You'll like it. It's such a nice colour. It's this like pinky pink. It's very bubblegumish. It's lovely. Karen will like it. Karen's the queen. The distressed queen. Okay, let's get a little few bits of grey. So we're going to go for some, I think, no, maybe not, no, we are going to go for grey. We're going to go for 20 or 30%. Let me just have a look at the colours. Let's go for 30%. So we're going to go for 30% French grey. And that's just to put in amongst our blues. Just a hint of it. Oh, you hover. You not picked it up. It's beautiful. Oh, Karen, you need it. Karen, you're the woman to go to for them. I swear I mention you every stream now. I'm like, yeah, have you watched this? She's just amazing. But yeah, if anyone's here and you are new and you wanted to know how they perform, Karen's your girl. Zucchini Kitty, all one word. She's your girl. She'll show you how to use them in the best possible way. She's got the skills. She's got the skills. Okay, I'm going to come out a minute. And I'm just going to put some of this nectar down. I think the kitten's got to have some cool greys. And let's go for our light peach. You can smooth it out if you want to, but I think this paper's toothy. Just we have to accept it's toothy. If you want to add a little bit more of a red to her cheeks to make them stand out a bit, and then blend it out, just go with the raspberry in the corners. And then blend it outwards, but she should be alright. She should be fine. Okay. So with the rest of it, I think I'll do that with the golds. We'll add a little bit more of a hint of this. So let's go for 50% or 70%. Just to add in some more dimension. Let's add some more shadow. But yeah, we don't need to go complicated with this picture. And then if you do want to add any aura behind her or bring down some of that, just get your ink or get your watercolour, and you just like bring some more pigment sort of towards her, kind of thing. But I've just got the ink near us just because we were testing it out, but if you can bring that with the watercolour and bring it down a little bit, just a hint of it, so it adds a bit more in there. But yeah, just play around with your colours until you're happy with it, really. And she's done almost. Like, right, suggestions before I go. Saturday. Shall I start a pencil piece on Saturday? And if so, thumbs up for a portrait, thumbs down for something else. What's the way to do it? Thumbs up? Oh, I don't know. Oh, there you go, 61. I don't know. Karen's your girl. I told you. It's like there in her brain. Okay. So the kitten needs some colour, and so does this. But yeah, she's pretty much done. Just add some details in. If you want to add black in, just add a few wisps of black in there in the dark parts. But yeah, you just can go with what your eye likes. Like, you eye it. Just eye stuff. And it will be pencil, by the way. If you want something else, thumbs down, like animals, thumbs down. Anything else, thumbs down. Because there's things like Kanoko, Gusa, you know, there's loads of different things. So thumbs down, thumbs up. Thumbs up is portrait, thumbs down is something else. Oh, thank you, Connie. And Connie's on in half an hour. Shell, you're the odd one out. Shell needs some company. D, there you go. She got some company with D. She was on her own over there. She's like, what kind of nonsense is this on my own? Thumbs up for a portrait on Saturday to start pencil, Becky pencil, or thumbs down for something else. Molly, there you go, free. Okay, let's go for some 20% warm grey, or maybe 10, 20. So the cat's just going to be, I'm going to outline it in white and just have some greys. I want a white kitty, I don't want a... Because I can always look back on the poll. Give me an hour or two. If you don't, check back tomorrow for all the links exactly, because obviously, like, after a stream, I've got dinner, bath, dog walk, that type of thing. So if I don't have them all up by tonight, I'll have them up in the morning over a cup of tea. If you can wait for the morning, I'd be so grateful. I'd be so grateful. I'm just going to get Peach on his nose. Yeah. But I will definitely put the links up by tomorrow morning. It's now like 6:30. I need to go cook at 7, dinner, then dog walk, then bath. And before you know it, it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm like, oh, knackered, tired. And then I get up in the morning and I can stick it all there, although I won't be around in the morning, but I'll do it. I'll get up at half an hour earlier because I've got to take Dad to the hospital. So I will do it, don't worry. It will be there. I'll take Kevin. But yes. Okay, I'm just going to put some pink in the ear. And some peach. Just in the ears. And literally just outline a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. But I will do everything, I promise. It's just the time. Or even by tonight before I go to sleep. I've got to hunt down some shops for you. I've got to hunt them down. I can't remember some of them, that's why I have to go back on my orders. And then I'll find them. Okay, let's add in a touch of 50% warm grey, just for some shadow, especially on the ear. Yeah, I don't want to be too detailed with this little kitty. As I said, I really like that look of like minimal on this one. I'm just going to add a little bit more of a hint of this. What we colour in today, Connie? Okay, let's add that into his little face. He's so cute. So nice little cute kitty. Alright, and then if you want to add any details in, I would. I just need to finish off this red here. So I'm going to grab my raspberry. I'm going to add some pleats in. Same with over here, just some pleats. And then these little... here, I need Tuscan red, but I'm just going to add some extras in. And then Angela's went and bought this during the stream. Flowers part 3, nice. Okay, Kenny, no problem. Life, I say it all the time, in and out. Your life is first. Okay, that little nose. I have been on quite a while. So cute. Okay, so that's what I managed to achieve today. It was just a little bit of fun with some watercolours. I will finish her off. I've only got to do the hand, just a little bit more on the fabric, and a belt, and that's it. I might just do the belt in the gold. Just grab the gold again. I might add a little bit more of like a blue into the creases. Just, you know, just some details. I quite like the watercolour look on this one. And remember, watercolours are loose. They're as built up as you make them. You can add more on top if you want to, but I quite like the effect of that. You just add in any more details as and when you like. And if you want to stop, stop. If you want to keep it to a watercolour look, then I would just stop right there. So just nice and simple. But I really enjoyed her today, and yes, my new hobby, my card. But yes, I really enjoyed today. I really enjoyed just sitting down with some watercolours, even though we had a little blip at the beginning, and just having a bit of fun with her. She was fun. Ooh. And I will be back then on Saturday, yeah. And I'll post a picture up of what I've done so far. And as I said, by the morning, just give me by the morning, and I shall have the links in the description for you before I toddle off to the hospital. Oh, thank you. I've enjoyed your company as always. Oh, thank you, Lisa. It's just a little bit of fun. And there is a little bit of a crinkle, look. But not too much. But it's just nice to sit down. Are you going to go and do that then? I have to turn the mic up. Well, people are leaving, so you better hurry up. Next time, Saturday.
No, I'm doing it now.
Go on then. I have to turn the mic up. Andrew's going to serenade you out.
It's a very sad song. It's not serenade.
Okay, I'm going to put the volume up. I'm going to stop talking, so I'm going to say goodbye now and lots of love. I'm going to turn my microphone up, and then I'm going to then just leave the stream. Thank you, everyone. Big hugs. Love. And lots and lots and lots of hugs. Hold on. Yeah, hold on, Andrew. I'll tell you when. I'm just going to put the volume up for them so they can hear you. And I'm going to shut up now. Okay, hold on. Yeah, go on. finally finished, and it probably sounds like I'm shouting. So that's it, guys. Lots of love, and I'll see you on the next stream. Bye, guys. And say bye, Chip. Say bye-bye, then. Say bye-bye. Look, you have to say bye. Yeah, we need to see your face, Chip. He's like, yeah, okay. Take care, everyone. Bye.